My captors, and welcome back to another mapping video. This is WICSO 35. A lot of WICSO. Yeah. Let's get into it. So basically, after a bit, of course, new rulers happen all the time, but before they had a system where new rulers would get appointed, and they still do, but this guy died really early, so they had no other choice but to just put their first son on the throne, even though they haven't adopted someone as their heir. Even though this first son, let's just say, isn't really fit to rule, and basically oppresses a bunch of minorities. Been working on a new religious map. Yeah, there's a lot of minorities in the Grey Team. Well, because they're an empire and they capture a lot of areas, and before they're actually pretty nice, so that's how they stayed stable. But with this new capturing minorities, I already made a map. These would happen a lot slower, but yeah. This is what it looks like. We already have this is a great team, this is a great team. We have this area, which used to be a collection of states next to the gray team. The green area over here with gray right here, light gray team, rose team. Lime team still won. They don't have the dark teal team, and the lime team still one lime team. Rose team, brown team's back from the grave. Ooh, it has been a while, and I say back from the grave. They're different teams now because these are more like the religious stuff rather than actual physical stuff. So it's the religious differences, and if you notice, the lime team religion extends all the way up here. Or why is that not? Hello. Okay, never mind. All the way up, and if we look at the religion map, we see that it kind of has this, meaning we got, so they extend up here, but because specifically the gray team, lime team people were getting oppressed, not these ones, only these people rebelled. Same with some of the other areas. Yeah. And the kind of bad thing before, yeah, the light gray team still kind of hurt by that. The gray team not really helping them, and decides, you know what, they're looking weak. Wouldn't matter if we invade them because they were the weakest brother, and they're kind of feeling a bit ambitious, and also they think they have other things to do with, which is true. So they start invading them over here. Which immediately starts going well because they're pretty weak right now, and also their soldiers are otherwhere. And the dark gray team decides to do the exact same thing. Invasion. It's not even that different in color from the gray team. That's a bit better. Invade these areas and start taking over this area over here. And this area wasn't connected, so it's kind of cut off. So this was an easy takeover. And they basically just claimed this area automatically. Yeah, they're mainly fighting the gray team right now. They could fight these teams, but they're if they don't harm us, then what does it really matter? Sorry, looking bad. And now the lime team decides to join in because, well, they've been wronged by the gray team in the past, you could say. Even though this still is technically a different lime team. This is a new lime team. Kind of like how there's a new orange team now. So the lime team starts invading this really conglomeration of states because there are a lot of different states, but they kind of combined in this one rebellion. They might split up again later, but start attacking the gray team also, and actually cuts them off over here, which actually makes the light gray team's job a ton easier. They still have a port over here, so they can still kind of try, but there goes that port, and that's our only real major port. Cut off shipping access, and yeah, and they are not going well with them, and this is really a major shock to them because, well, they thought both how would they actually get beaten up? Religious, and the ruler is killed because, rightfully so, because they are stupid, dumb, and do not make good decisions. And they finally get their act together, and elect a less corrupt ruler, and start actually ruling the nation. But it's kind of too late now, because the only thing they can really do is defend the areas that they still have. Meaning these areas. Yeah. So they're gonna keep those areas for now. And they're gonna be like, oh no, they don't, they get attacked right yet, because the Grey Team's still strong, it just had bad leadership and was going through a rough patch. Divorce. And that was actually rather swift at how all this happened. The Grey Team is flabbergasted, and everyone's really flabbergasted that this once Grey Team, which, 2 episodes ago, no, technically 3 episodes now, 3 episodes ago, just won a world war and had a giant territorial expanse, and is now, rather small. Rather small. I mean, not as small as when they started, but, hint, hint, wink, wink, later episodes, but, yeah. The brown team, been a while. And, these other rulers, it really puts them in a reality check. Like, we gotta, support our minorities, because, these other countries have less minorities, but not 0. Like, we got minority here, minority here, minority here, minority here, minorities over here kind of area, yeah. So, they're definitely not out of the water either, so they're kind of reality checked, like, okay, we just gotta treat our citizens well, and do not discriminate religiously. So it actually kind of helps them be more equal, because, well, they don't want to have the same thing that happened to the Grey didn't happen to them. And honestly, with how divided Mexico has been in the past, this is actually fairly unified. If you know, you know. Yeah. So right now, the Lime Team's actually the biggest in, like, this kind of central Mexico region, like this area. The former Grey Team. Yeah, like, of course these ones are bigger, but you know what I mean. But, yeah. So, that was a really Roman thing happening. The Western Empire, that used to be the strong one, was the one that fell, so it's like the strong empire falls, and the weaker ones actually stay on. Even though this was, like, a really quick fall. Yeah, there's, like, some time skips, but, like, in the course of, like, 100 years. And I was talking about how, like, when Mexico split into 3, it hurt progress again. Yeah, this hurts progress again. So it's really been, like, up and down, up and down, and up and down. I might even do, like, like, technological progress around time. I'm trying to make a timeline right now. It's been going slowly and lazily. But, yeah. Not good with the Grey Team. But anyways, Purple Team. As the Grey Team's getting weaker, the Purple Team's getting stronger. Yeah, crazy. You know how they had a vassal over here? With maybe some political assassinations and shenanigans, they now have 2 vassals. Yeah. The other countries are kind of like, oh, nothing really they can do to stop it right now, but they're like, didn't we, like, fight a war to stop them from growing? Now they're growing again? Yeah. Huh. Really makes you think. I don't know, really makes you think. What am I saying? Meanwhile, the Dark Red Team over here is actually doing pretty well for themselves. Yeah, and even expanding a bit. Just running some of these areas. California team. Discord notifications on right now. But actually, because the capture I have, you can't even see them. Never mind. I'm trying a new display captures. Yeah, we got the Purple Team, which honestly not much has been happening with. And just especially after, like, they unified with the Pink Team. Well, unified, not really, but you know what I mean. they're actually going to connect up their two kind of areas over here. So, yeah, the Aleutians, South Alaska. So, yeah, good for them. We're gonna take some of these areas. Not much up here other than just cold. So, yeah. Not much up here other than just cold. But yeah, they also with this, you know, explore some more in the surrounding areas. So, good for them. I'll say I haven't been focusing much on the Asian colonies recently. So, anyways, Asian colonies, yeah, we got the protein colony. Doing good, really. I'd have to say so myself. The red team colony, after kind of, you know, they've been winning against the light gray team, honestly, I feel like that they're kind of doing well. Expanding their colonies over here. But yeah, there's only really two colonial powers over here, because Asia's a lot farther away to the Americas than Europe is to the Americas, because the Pacific Ocean is just bigger. So, I guess this makes sense. But with, like I said, the new boat technology, it's actually helping these, you know, helping quite a bit, because, you know, new seafaring technology that I was talking about. And who do you think would be next? Because there's not really much nations over here, and, you know, some of these nations that are over here aren't really friendly enough. Actually, this green team, which, honestly, I think for the sake of, yeah, do I want to do this? Yeah, I'm gonna keep this green team green for now. But, they're deciding, you know what, let's go do our thing, and they start to colony down here. Me, oh my. Down in South China. South China, I mean, like, far South China. And, taking over this area, as well, yeah, they can, and this is new land for them to explore. And, so yeah, the China team's got new neighbors, new colonial neighbors, but like they're friendly colonial neighbors. So yeah, China team expanding a bit. So yeah, it's really like we had like the first age of colonialism, but it's more of like the age of exploration. They found the areas, but colonialism kind of died down again. But it's like I feel like colonialism's on the rise again after technology's increasing again, and they can actually like afford to do stuff. So yay. Anyways, the purple team colony is doing well. Yeah, doing pretty prosperous. You know, expanding up here around the blue area, expanding over this way. So yeah, just creating this like thick African strip to this lake. Yes. Yeah, really just going well. Yeah. And purple team, it's really funny how gray team wins a war and is now doing worse than the purple team is. Honestly, for like the first time in a long while, because the gray team's been on top for a long time, the gray team's actually not on top. The gray team's been on top for probably too long. To be frank. I don't know who Frank is, but I do be him. I do be Frank. Yeah, hi Frank. If you're watching this video and your name's Frank, then I'm saying hi specifically to you. Yes, you, Frank. I know you think it's not. No, it's you. People nowadays, am I right? What am I even doing? I always ask what am I on in all my videos, which is a good question because I don't know what I am on. And then I make the give me some joke. I still have some of these islands are not properly colored. But yeah, like our team really trying to focus on the military, specifically lining up troops over here because well, dark red team has been beating them. The California team may not have. Who knows? No one can really say if they were beating them, but yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I like my glorious commentary, yeah. But another team starting colony, the brown team. This new brown team, not the same as the old brown team. Because, you know, they're different teams. Deciding, or actually not really deciding, more finding this kind of Vietnam area. The strip of Vietnam. The isthmus, it's like a long isthmus if you think about it. The long isthmus of Vietnam. So yeah. Brown team having a colony, who would have thought? That was definitely a different brown team. I can clickbait it. For all y'all, post if you've been to this video and you remember the brown team, like from the original videos, post a 7 in the comments below. Probably gonna get like 2 7s at most, but hey. And if you don't remember who the brown team is and you've watched all the way through this video, then post a 5. Why am I doing this? Who knows? You could say for like viewership, but I'm not even like monetized or anything, so I mean, mildly pushes out my video, but does not give me anything because I'm not a monetized channel. I'm way too small for monetization. You need to be at least like well, there's partially monetized, which is like 500 subscribers, and like fully monetized, like 1,000 subscribers. I'm not near that. Although, if you want to help me get monetized, this is actually unintentional sub plug. It's completely unintentional. But if you want to help me get monetized and actually make money off this, then subscribe, I guess. Damn. Want to help me get monetized? Yeah, unintentional plug. I realized that this green team and this green team are almost the same color. They're different colors, but they're very similar. So I shouldn't confuse them. Yeah. Wow. But Mission Colony is doing well, and honestly, no, it's just kind of. Well, the main part of the video really happened super early, but I think that is all, and goodbye, my cabbages.